people for their accomplishments in a variety of different fields. We've been doing this for the 9th year I've been in office, but we took a little bit of a break during COVID. We did a lot of these remotely over Zooms and put them on social media. We intend to put information on social media again, but it's so nice to be able to meet in person with people and to meet these awardees. Let's see here. Today we celebrate Women's History Month in the Treasurer's Office. It is coming a week after International Women's Day, a day centered on advocating for a more gender-inclusive world. As a father, I want my daughter to know her value and know the sky is the limit, and she is not limited in certain fields. I want to do my part to promote, support, and celebrate women. And I've ensured that women are in key leadership roles on my team. I've also led the fight to have more women serve on corporate boards. Many corporate leaders agree that diversity will benefit their operations. Research has shown this to be the case. Our focus is to help them navigate that change. We work regionally and nationally to promote corporate board diversity. I chair something called the Russell 3000 Initiative, which asks all companies within the Russell 3000 Index to disclose the gender, race, and ethnicity of their boards. It's something that should be common sense, but did not happen before. When we started this effort in 2020, 292 companies disclosed that information out of 3,000. Today, more than 2,200 companies do so. I also have a leadership role in the Midwest Investors Diversity Initiative. That's exactly what it sounds like. It's a group. It has engaged 70 companies since it was formed in 2016. Among those companies, 95 women and persons of color have received board appointments, and 51 companies have adopted a diverse search policy. These were all companies that had homogenous boards. All men, all white men, and we think that's not good for business. We also have a leadership role within the 30% Coalition, which is committed to the goal of advancing women, including women of color, on boards of public companies, hoping to get at least 30% of the board seats filled by women. More than 500 companies have appointed women to their boards for the first time since the coalition started a decade ago. So we have had great success, but we know more needs to be done. That's why we run for re-election, because we're not done. It's also important to note that a wealth of research shows that diversity benefits corporate decision-making and company performance. Quite simply, research shows that diversity is good for business. We are doing our part in this office. In 2014, before I came into office, there were $603 million in assets brokered by firms operated by women, minorities, veterans, or people with disabilities. Today, the number was $603 million. Today, that number is $51 billion. $603 million to $51 billion. That's an 84-fold increase, speaking directly to our commitment. We've also increased the business we do with MWBD managers. Minorities, women, veterans, disabled-owned asset managers. When I took office, the treasurer had just $18 million under MWBD asset managers. Now we have $3.7 billion. That's a 206-fold increase. The office has invested in 11 women-owned funds through the Illinois Growth and Innovation Fund, a fund dedicated to investing in ways that attract, assist, and retain quality, tech-enabled businesses in Illinois. One of these firms is Buoyant Ventures. Their latest fund is the biggest ever debut of a woman-owned U.S. venture fund not based on the coasts. We look forward to supporting their mission and strategy of investing in founders who are creating high-impact digital solutions in the fight against climate change. Today, we're celebrating Women's History Month, which has been officially on the books since 1987, but dates back more than 100 years. A presidential proclamation is issued each year, and President Biden's proclamation this year says that the full participation of women is a foundational tenet of democracy. He also noted that despite significant progress, women and girls continue to face systemic barriers to full and equal participation in our economy and society. Last June, we watched the U.S. Supreme Court put up an incredibly tall barrier when justices overturned Roe v. Wade. As the father of a teenage daughter, I remain furious at the hypocritical politicians who seek to control her body and have decided that she and every other woman are incapable of making decisions about their own body. We will fight to keep Illinois a safe haven for women. We are committed to supporting and celebrating women's achievements. And that's something we should be doing every day, every month, not just in March. Today we are honoring 8 women for their contributions to our state: a healthcare leader, an education institute partner, a nonprofit president, an assistant school superintendent, a state representative, a labor field organizer, a hockey player development coach, and a motivational speaker. I'm happy to celebrate with each one of you today. Thank you for all the great things you do for Illinois. Thank you for allowing us to take the time to allow us to honor you and to lift you up for examples to hopefully millions of young women. All right, to our awardees. The Treasurer's Office Outstanding Service in Business Award is presented to Esther Corpuz. Since 2014, Esther Corpuz has been the Chief Executive Officer at Ontiveros Medical Center, a bilingual and bicultural group committed to providing access to quality, cost-effective health care to the Hispanic community, the uninsured and the underinsured, with inclusion of other cultures and races. With over 35 years' experience in healthcare administration, Ms. Corpuz has brought an innovative and holistic approach to enhancing Ontiveros' practice of delivering patient-centered, coordinated, and cost-effective healthcare. Early in her impressive career, Ms. Corpuz was instrumental in establishing several hospital-wide initiatives that addressed the specific needs of Latino patients. She was a lead supporter in introducing Illinois legislation that requires healthcare institutions to provide trained medical interpreters, a program she established at McNeil Hospital 25 years ago. The Ontiveros leadership team created access to year-round drive-through COVID testing, and they have been at the forefront of COVID vaccine distributions in some of the most vulnerable communities in Chicago and the western suburbs. Esther is an active community leader and currently serves as a founding board member of the Healthy Illinois campaign, which recently secured the nation's first state-funded healthcare program for low-income and undocumented adults 42 years old and younger. 40 years and older. Ms. Corpuz, please stand.
I hate going first. And I forgot my glasses, so if I squint. First, I want to thank the treasurer, of course, for hosting this wonderful event. And I'm glad that he said we don't just celebrate it in March, but we should celebrate it every year. I want to thank Michelle Chavez, so she's hiding over there. Michelle, thank you for nominating me for this recognition. She is a leader in her own right. She, as a state legislator, and also she is a strong voice in the community. And not only does she have a strong voice in the community, I don't know how many of you have ever heard her sing. Yeah. She has a great singing voice too. I want to congratulate all the other 8 women who are recipients here today. This is especially meaningful to me because I was raised by a very strong mother who, at a very young age, my father passed away when he was 42, and so she raised 2 daughters. And she really was able to deal with anything that came her way. And so I think at an early age, I really appreciate the strength that women have and the influence that they can have in our lives. We as women are contributors in every aspect of the life, at home, on the job, in the community. As mothers, daughters, sisters, wives, and friends, we come together in living rooms and in boardrooms. We value mentorship, taking young girls under our wings. And with me today, I have 3 very accomplished women of varying ages, all who have been mentors to me in some way or another. Dr. Ann Garcelon, who is a founding board member of Ontiveros, and also a leader in bilingual education and a retired internist. Maria Granados, who has risen through the ranks at Ontiveros for the last 20 years and is now a member of the executive team and our Director of Human Resources. I also want to, Carmen's like taking pictures over there, Carmen Velasquez, who is the founder of Alivio Medical Center and the founder of Healthy Illinois. And as Mike mentioned, you know, Alivio provides so much care to underinsured patients, and she founded it close to 40 years ago at a time when federally qualified health centers were not as large as they are today, and really from gut, sweat, and tears. And also with Healthy Illinois, when she retired, Carmen's going to be 84 soon, and you know, okay, I'm sorry, but you know, passing legislation that has changed the lives. You know, as Mike said, you know, we were the first in the country. Not only did we pass it, the first in the country, and she has devoted her life to making sure that everyone has access to health care. And while 43 and older are covered today, we are going back to the legislature. We have confidence in our legislature that everyone will get covered this legislative session, so we look forward to that. Ladies and men, and I also want to thank, because you know, we're honoring women, but we also have to honor the men who are here today and who are who also lift up the things that we do. And so we have a lot more to do. Let's be bold together. Let's pursue a world where every woman and every girl has equal rights and opportunities. Let's pursue a world where women and girls have access to reproductive health. Let's pursue a world where reproductive rights are protected, realized, and guaranteed, and where women and girls have the means to fully execute those rights without fear, coercion, or harm. Thank you. Viva las mujeres.
He was measured at 6'7", and I think that's the point here. And then two, Esther did point out the contribution of Michelle Chavez, who works in my office, and say, Michelle, you don't qualify for one of these awards because you're an employee of the Treasurer's Office. But someday, if you ever retire, you can submit your name. All right, the Treasurer's Outstanding Service in Leadership Award is presented to Dr. Juanita Morris. 3 years ago, Dr. Juanita Morris was selected by the Howard G. Buffett Foundation to administer a $2.3 million grant to develop and activate the Jerry J. Dawson Civic Leadership Institute in Decatur. The 5 pillars of TCLI are law enforcement, healthcare, government, entrepreneurship, and education. Under DCLI, over 200 students have already participated in paid internships at local businesses with exposures to career, behind-the-scenes business, and civic organizations. DCLI partners with nonprofit community organizations to bring programs like Girls Who Code and the Summer Math Academy to youth in the Decatur area. Dr. Morris created a one-of-a-kind 6-week residential CNA program with a 100% success rate. These students have passed the State of Illinois certification exam and are now in high school, college, or employed in the medical community. She also developed a certified medical interpreter program designed to facilitate the accurate share of important medical information between patients and physicians. Dr. Morris, husband Jeremy, were the Decatur-Macon County honorary chairs for the 2022 Salvation Army Christmas campaign. Dr. Morris could not be here with us today. Accepting the award on her behalf is her husband, Dr. Jeremy Morris. Dr. Morris, please step forward. If you won't tell you, his wife can't be here, but he is wearing this tie in her honor.
I have extremely big shoes to fill, but I'm going to do my best as a husband and do what I'm told. Thank you, State Treasurer Michael Frerichs and your team. My family and I and our community are truly honored by this leadership recognition. I'm sorry that I am unable to physically share this day with each of you, but as you can see, leadership is only possible through and with the support of family. So you have Dr. Morris and the best of me to present. You have my husband, you have my family. If I were able to be with you, and if my husband reads this verbatim, I would say, thank you, Dr. J.K., for always supporting me, and happy birthday tomorrow. Love you, honey, and love you, Aunt Pat. We often characterize leaders as hard workers, or those with a strong work ethic, reliable, dependable. Some are kind, compassionate, and maybe well-connected. Many are experts in their field of impact. And all are ready and really good and true descriptors. Actually, they are excellent characteristics of leaders. But what I continue to realize about leadership is, at its core, leadership is the courage and the ability to pursue exactly what you have been called to do. That thing that resides in you, that you may not understand, that others definitely do not understand, that you may not be able to adequately communicate the why, that may look like an insurmountable task and ask, that you may not feel fully prepared for, that your education or experiences may not be directly aligned with, but it feels right. Your soul is at peace. You have found your cadence, and you are comfortable in the uncomfortable. Leadership is pursuing your flow. Leadership is the courage and the ability to pursue exactly what you have been called to do. Leadership is the unrelentless pursuit of you. Leadership is also, and maybe more importantly, making and holding a space for others to do the exact same thing. Pursue and share exactly what they have been called to do. Thank you. Thank you for seeing and acknowledging me, for not only being a woman and a leader, but for honoring and seeing me for who I authentically am and strive each day to be. Thank you, Dr. Ontiveros.
Thank you very much. The Treasurer's outstanding commitment to community service is presented to Maria Ontiveros. Maria Ontiveros is co-founder and president of Mercado on Fifth, a nonprofit organization in the Quad Cities area that hosts a weekly outdoor night market and festival along a block on Moline's Fifth Avenue. That's the name. Not far from the Mississippi River waterfront. Mercado on Fifth has supported about 130 small businesses and nonprofits in the Quad Cities. Today, vendor spaces in the outdoor markets offer local Hispanic chefs, artists, and entrepreneurs a place to thrive with pride to inspire the next generation. Following the Ontiveros family legacy of working hard and providing an opportunity to others, Maria worked with local banks and community partners to offer programs in both Spanish and English. These included more than $78,000 in micro grants for minority-owned businesses, a food sanitation certification course, and no-cost business workshops. With the help of a minority business incubator grant from the state of Illinois, Ontiveros has grown Mercado on Fifth's team and led the way to last year's grand opening of a new permanent facility with space indoors and out, including a patio, dedicated food truck lane, walk-up window, and minority business incubator space. Mercado on Fifth now can welcome the community year-round. Ms. Ontiveros serves as a board member of the Rock Island County Metropolitan Mass Transit District, Metrolink, Visit Quad Cities, United Way Quad Cities, and Quad City Arts and Two Rivers YMCA. She is the corporate community liaison for Group O, a $950 million diversified services firm, one of the largest Hispanic-owned U.S. companies, founded by her grandfather, Robert Ontiveros. She also manages the company's charitable arm, which has consistently funded scholarships at Quad City area schools, including Black Hawk College and Western Illinois University. Ms. Ontiveros, please step forward.
Thank you to those who nominated me for this award, and for my husband Jack and good friend Marley for being here to celebrate with me. There's a few family members that really wanted to be here, and there's one glaringly open seat that would have been reserved for my grandmother, Glenda Ontiveros. Glenda passed away on Saturday. But I want to dedicate this award to her. She had a lot of memories in this city, some good and some bad. Her and my grandfather, Bob, would occasionally come to the Union League Club of Chicago for functions, and my grandfather naturally would walk in the front door, but she and other women would be escorted around to use the back door. And this pissed her off so much. By this time in the mid-'80s, she had already accomplished so much. She helped my grandfather to start our family company, then called By State Packaging, and now Group O, which he mentioned is one of the largest Hispanic-owned companies in the U.S. Back then, she was performing a lot of really important duties for the company to keep it running smoothly. Not only was she a bookkeeper, ruthless at accounts receivable, she did the payroll and other HR functions, and also worked in the mailroom. But although my grandfather would lovingly refer to her as the real boss, she will never receive the full credit that she deserves. She was an incredible person, just could get along with anyone, felt comfortable at any table, as long as there was Pinot Grigio. She could get a laugh out of anyone, and her strength of character is such an incredible example for me, which is why I want to raise an imaginary glass for her and thank her for kicking through the back door, getting in the room, and holding open the front door for me and my sisters. Thank you.
Well, Maria, I think that people recommend that you made a good case for you receiving this award, and I think you made a very good case for your grandmother. I'm sorry she could not be here to hear that, but thank you. The Treasurer's Outstanding Commitment in Education Award is presented to Dr. Lori Cristofaro. Dr. Lori Cristofaro is the current Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction in Lockport Township High School, District 205. She has over 25 years of experience in Illinois public schools as a social studies teacher, as a department chair, and an assistant principal of curriculum and instruction. Dr. Cristofaro is active in many professional organizations and has been the co-chair of the Women in Educational Leadership Luncheon for the past 3 years. In 2020, in partnership with the American Association of School Administrators, Lockport Township High School District 205 joined the national initiative, Redefining Ready, a new research-based metrics to better assess that students are college-ready, career-ready, life-ready. Dr. Cristofaro is a proud graduate of the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign with a bachelor's degree in secondary education and a master's degree in foundations of education from Northern Illinois University. She recently received her doctorate from the University of St. Francis. Dr. Cristofaro, please step forward.
So, especially in schools where I've worked for almost 30 years, much of Women's History Month celebrates women who are famous. I am not one of those people. But I'd like to think my hard work and the work of the women here today improves the lives of women, men, and children in our local communities and for our entire state. It takes everybody's everyday work and decisions to create support and systems and opportunities for women to advance and be included in spaces where they were historically not represented. So you won't hear me naming any names today, because the people I thank will be people that you can also thank and people that you can work with and support to make more opportunities available for women in our state. First, I'd like to thank my parents, my husband, and my children, who always believed in me and told me I can do anything. I'm thankful for the women who preceded me in educational leadership roles. These role models, they reached out to me and they told me I could do it. I'm thankful for all along my professional journey, both women and men, who have invited me to the table and who have heard my voice. I am thankful to have served in a profession that I love, where I've been able to teach and learn from students and partner with parents, other educators, and community members to see our students achieve more. In this moment in time, I am most grateful to my personalized learning network of women and men that inspire me, encourage me, learn with me, and help me to continue to grow as an educator, a leader, and a human. Finally, I'm thankful for the treasurer for creating the opportunity and this space to acknowledge the work of so many great women, those here today, but we are just representing the great women across the state that work tirelessly to make a difference in the lives of so many. Thank you.
All right. It is tough. Women's History Month falls in March. That is typically when the Illinois legislature is in session down in Springfield. The Treasurer's Award for Outstanding Commitment as an elected official is presented to State Representative Stephanie Kipling. She is doing her job, which is why she's not here today. But I want to say a few remarks, and then she has a very capable person here to accept on her behalf. Representative Stephanie Kipling has served Illinois' 84th District in the State House of Representatives for the past 10 years. She brings a wealth of experience to her job as a full-time legislator. Representative Kipling is a U.S. Marine Corps veteran and a graduate of Northern Illinois University, where she earned a master's degree in public administration. A former alderman in the city of Aurora, she is also a former substitute teacher and a registered financial advisor. During her tenure in the Illinois House, she has been the chief sponsor or co-sponsor of countless legislation relating to able asset protection, student investment accounts, sustainable investing, technology development, life insurance benefits, unclaimed property, and college savings, all things that are very dear to the Illinois State Treasurer's Office. She serves as chairperson of the House Personnel and Pensions Committee and a member of the Revenue and Finance and Veterans Affairs Committees, as well as the subcommittees on income tax and property tax. As I said, Representative Kipling is in Springfield today doing her job when the House is in session. Accepting the award on her behalf is Ms. Kristina Zahorik. Kristina, please step forward.
Thank you. Yes, I am not Stephanie. Although I will say that I'm certainly honored to be accepting this award on her behalf. I serve as a trustee in a little village of about 2,000 folks. It's just north of her district. And I will say that in that capacity, I don't necessarily have representation on my side of the aisle. And Stephanie has always been very helpful to my constituencies when they need assistance and reaching out and helping in a real way people that are in need and in trouble. So I appreciate her for that. Thank you, Treasurer Frerichs. I'm going to read Stephanie's remarks to you. Thank you for the incredible honor. It's truly humbling to be honored during Women's History Month alongside so many incredible women who have made immense contributions to our communities, including my, oh, I won't say that part, my good friend. Yes, thank you. I'm from the Midwest. We can't accept compliments. I never imagined myself in these roles as an elected official, but it fit my desire to serve our country, just like my military service did. I joined the Marine Corps after graduation because I wanted an adventure and to see the world. And it really wasn't until after my honorable discharge that I realized what my service meant. Simply put, I was just focused, humbly doing the job assigned like every other service person. Similarly, my son, who is now serving in the U.S. Navy, always just tells me, I'm just doing my job, Mom. After leaving the Marines with the help of an Illinois Veterans Grant, I was able to attend Northern Illinois University to complete my undergraduate degree in political science. I intended to go to law school, however, things took a different course. When I settled down, had 2 kids, and instead got my master's in public administration. During this time, I started noticing things I wanted to change in my own neighborhood. Specifically, it was a dilapidated park. So I went door to door with a 6-month-old and a 3.5-year-old in tow for the position of alderperson in the city of Aurora to make change happen. The grassroots efforts paid off. I won my election by 16 votes. I think the treasurer knows about that. It's important to understand who we're electing, right? And to elect those people that we really know are going to serve in our communities, like the treasurer and like Stephanie. I'm proud to say that she was able to work with the Park District to update not only that park, but several other parks, including the City of Aurora Skate Park, which she is proud to say was designed by local high school students. Veterans are mission-driven. When there's a problem, we must find a solution, and there's no other choice. Thus, when the position of state rep became available due to remapping, I felt again compelled to serve and make a positive difference. I won the election to be the state rep of the 84th District and proudly took my oath in 2013. My decade-long tenure in the Illinois House has not always been easy. When things aren't right, we have a right to speak up. We have a duty to speak up. I was one of the first to step forward to insist on leadership change in the House and battled the worst governor in our history who created a 2.5-year budget impasse, nearly destroying our state. Working with Governor Pritzker and Treasurer Frerichs, along with the new leadership of the House and the Senate, we have moved Illinois into the best fiscal shape in over 2 decades. I'm proud to be a voice for veterans, and particularly for women veterans, and to have enacted legislation like the recent Military Order of Protection legislation to protect victims of military sexual assault on basis and off basis. I started a PAC to assist veterans who, like me, also want to continue their service by running for office. As the new chair of the Important Personnel and Pensions Committee, we are working on the pension situation and ensuring our state runs effectively and efficiently, and we are responsibly taking care of our existing and future retirees. I stand on the shoulders of amazing women. I'm proud to be in a state that trusts women, that supports women, and that strives to ensure women have the opportunities they need to be successful. I'm grateful for this honor, but I know the work is far from done. So let us continue to be inspired by the trailblazing women who came before us, and let us commit ourselves to building a better, more equitable world for women who will come after. Thank you, Treasurer Frerichs.
I think I'll be presenting this to Representative Kifwit Springfield in the near future, but I would like a picture with Kristina Zahorik. All right, so let's move on to the Treasurer's Award for Outstanding Achievement in Workforce and Labor is presented to Ms. Tory Woods. Tory has been a member of Labor's International Union of North America Local 773 for 10 years. Her union involvement was greatly influenced by her grandfather, Robert T. Simpson, a fierce leader in the Teamsters and Chicago chapter of the Coalition of Black Trade Unionists for over 40 years. Tory worked for the Department of Agriculture, both for Perry County and the Jackson County Farm Service Agency. After a brief period in human resources, Tory was offered a job for the Perry County Clerk's office as election coordinator and was appointed union steward for Labor's Local 773, for the government offices. In 2016, she took over the position of Chief Deputy Clerk. She was appointed to the Coyne Community Development Corporation Board, working to start up or improve businesses in Coyne, Illinois. 3 years ago, Tory became the field representative for Local 773. She serves on the board of Connect 360 with a mission to improve the communications, relationships, and actions of racial and ethnic minority populations. Tory was born in Coyne and grew up in the AME Zion Church. She graduated from Coyne High School and went on to attend John A. Logan College. She has furthered her education with leadership classes, concentrating on labor and employment law. Tory enjoys volunteering for the Carbondale Warming Center whenever they are in need. She continues to do volunteer work throughout the Southern Illinois communities and her local. Tory, please step forward.
I want to thank you for this opportunity. Normally, I've been told for years, and I'm probably going to break today because this really hasn't hit me. I was raised by ladies and my father. They've always told me they're proud of me, but this one means a lot. Ginger, thank you for nominating me. Jerry, thank you for bringing me on and let me continue to be that leader, to be out there in that community and serve people they belong. Mom, thank you for being that guide with me and teaching me to do all the work for the community as you do in Detroit as well. To my aunts, thank you guys for always being there, telling me that I can do anything I want. To my grandma and grandma that are not here. They weren't here to see me take on this role. But I know they're smiling now and being proud of my accomplishments, as this one is a big one for me, and I just can't thank you enough for giving me this opportunity. Jerry, I will keep working hard, and you told me whenever I asked you I needed a challenge and a change, be careful what you ask for. So here I am today, still listening to you, and careful what I ask you, but keep coming with me, anything that you have for me, and I will keep doing good work for you. And
You come a long way.
thanks.
The Treasurer's Award for Outstanding Achievement in Sportsmanship is presented to Kendall Coyne Schofield. Born in Palos Heights, Kendall's route to a successful hockey career and Olympic glory began at an outdoor ice rink in Orland Park, where she graduated from Carl Sandburg High School, joining Team USA Hockey as a young 15-year-old. In her senior year of college, as a member of the Northeastern Huskies team, she was named the top female college ice hockey player in the United States. Kendall has been a member of the U.S. Women's National Hockey Team for 12 years and is the current team captain. She is a 6-time world champion gold medalist and 3-time Olympic champion in women's hockey, winning silver in 2014, gold in 2018, and silver last year in Beijing. In 2019, she was the first woman to compete in the National Hockey League All-Star Skill Competition and was a member of the NHL's first all-female broadcast team. 2 years ago, Kendall was hired as the first female player development coach for the Chicago Blackhawks hockey organization, where she also runs her Golden Coyne's youth hockey program for girls aged 6 to 18. She holds a bachelor's degree in communication studies and a master's degree in corporate and organizational communications, both summa cum laude from Northeastern University in Boston. In her spare time, Kendall and her husband, Michael Schofield, run the Schofield Family Foundation, dedicated to providing funding, support, and awareness to improve the lives of others in our beloved communities, including military, first responders, youth sports organizations, and families in need. Last year, she published her autobiography titled As Fast as Her, Dream Big, Break Barriers, Achieve Success, with a foreword written by Billie Jean King. Kendall was not able to join us today. Accepting the award on her behalf is her father, John Coyne. Mr. Coyne,
Thank you, Treasurer Frerichs. Those wonderful words. You almost made me cry. As the Treasurer said, I'm here pinch hitting for my daughter, who can't be here today. To these recipients, after listening to these bios, you are all amazing. All amazing. You've changed a generation, you've inspired a generation, and you made this world a better place, and we're all very grateful for that. Again, after listening to these bios, I think the common thread that runs through all of these women, other than their accomplishments, is they've used their achievements and they use their accomplishments to help others, to inspire others, and to encourage the next generation to follow their dreams. As Kendall's dad, I am very proud to have my daughter's name next to these wonderful women. And I am also very thankful and very grateful to accept this award on her behalf. Thank you.
For those of you who have poor eyes like me, you might not be able to see he has plenty of hockey sticks and on his top. A very proud father. The Treasurer's Award for Outstanding Achievement in Arts and Humanities is presented to Zanaya Ross, or otherwise known as Z. Z. Ross has lived two distinct lives. In the first, she was isolated by a severe cognitive disability, bullied. She was diagnosed with a learning disability and mild mental disabilities at age 5. At age 9, she was still functioning at age 3. After homeschooling, she was moved to a new school with more support services. After expressing an interest in working with animals, Z became active with the Youth Volunteer Corps at Brookfield Zoo. She became a peer mentor and a part-time employee and became involved with Special Olympics and Habitat for Humanity. After much hard work, she graduated from high school with a GPA above 3.15. In her present life, Z is confident, courageous, and admired. She's employed at Brookfield Zoo and competes as an athlete for Special Olympics in Illinois. Z is also an incredible artist and an innovative entrepreneur. She spends a lot of her downtime creating unique illustrations. Her characters are whimsical and 100% original. She founded Just Z, a brand highlighting her artistic creations. By embracing her disability, Z uses the gifts and talents she has discovered to create her future with creativity and with positive thoughts. More importantly, she inspires others to follow their own dreams. For the past 6 years, she has been a global messenger for Special Olympics. And that is why she is the recipient of our award. Z, please step forward.
Hello? Okay. Thank you, Illinois State Treasurer Michael Frerichs. I'm sorry if I say your last name wrong. And for this award, and congratulations to the amazing women that honored today. I would also like to thank the Illinois State Treasurer for the Illinois Able account that supports Special Olympic Illinois athletes and people with disabilities like me. Live a life without limits. So I can continue to advocate about the possibilities. Thank you, Gladys Piper, for taking the time to talk to me, listening to me, and remembering me. Just like my mom, who made sure people heard my voice. A voice no one wanted to hear because of my speech and learning and developmental disability. Thank you, everyone, for being a change, like Special Olympic Illinois, Brookfield Zoo, and United Airlines. They allow me to do the work no one thought I could do, while seeing my gifts and talent as an artist. Thank you for being a part of my journey that allowed me to help others advocate their dreams. This award truly sets the foundation for diversity, inclusion, and equity. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining me today. This means a lot to me, to be able to do this in person, to meet these wonderful women or their surrogates on their behalf. I want to thank you all for taking time.